Have you ever noticed how, just when you think a woman is falling deeply for you, when her eyes light up around you, when her smile feels different, when the chemistry is undeniable, suddenly she pulls away? She doesn't reply as fast. She seems distant. Sometimes she even ignores you completely. And you're left wondering, what just happened? Did I lose her? Did I do something wrong? What if I told you that silence might actually be the strongest sign that she's already in love? When she goes quiet, most men panic. They think, she's ignoring me, she must be losing interest. But here's the truth: most people don't realize silence doesn't always mean rejection. Sometimes it's the exact opposite. When her feelings for you are casual, she doesn't hesitate. She'll text back quickly, she'll playfully call, she won't care if she says the wrong thing. But the moment her emotions run deeper, she starts to feel exposed, and that exposure makes her retreat. Not because she doesn't want you, but because she wants you too much. That silence, that pause, is her way of saying, I care so much it scares me. And if you mistake that for indifference, you'll miss the very moment she's showing you just how much you matter. When love starts to get real, the stakes suddenly change. In the beginning, it's light, it's playful, it's easy. She can say anything, joke about anything, because nothing truly matters yet. But once she's falling for you, everything feels heavier. Every text she sends suddenly matters. Every silence feels loaded. Every glance carries meaning. She's no longer just talking to a man she likes. She's talking to someone who could break her heart. And that weight makes her cautious. She'll hesitate, she'll pull back, she'll even ignore you. Not because she doesn't want to connect, but because now the connection has become so valuable, she's terrified of losing it. That's the paradox of real love. It doesn't make her careless, it makes her careful. Sometimes when a woman ignores you, it's not because she's uninterested. It's because she's protecting herself. Love makes her vulnerable, and vulnerability can feel terrifying. If she shows you too much too soon, she risks being hurt. She risks being judged. She risks giving you the power to walk away with her heart in your hands. So instead, she shields it. She pulls back. She creates distance. She hides behind silence. It's not rejection, it's self-defense. It's her way of saying, I feel so much for you that I need to slow myself down before I lose control. And if you rush in trying to force her walls down, you'll only confirm her fears. But if you respect that space, if you understand that her guard is a sign of her feelings, you'll be the one she eventually lets all the way in. The deeper she falls for you, the more your opinion suddenly matters, and that can be terrifying for her. When it was casual, if you didn't text back, she could brush it off. If you didn't like her joke, she could laugh it away. But now, every word you say, every reaction you give, carries weight. Your approval feels like oxygen. Your disapproval feels like a storm. That's why she sometimes goes silent. It's not that she doesn't care. It's that she cares too much. You've become significant, and significance means risk. She's not ignoring you because you're unimportant. She's ignoring you because in her world, you've already become too important. When she pulls away, it's easy to assume she's just not interested anymore. But most of the time, it's not disinterest, it's fear. Fear that if she gives too much, she'll lose herself. Fear that if she surrenders completely, she'll end up abandoned. That distance you feel isn't a lack of love. It's the weight of love pressing on her. It's her heart whispering, this matters too much to be careless with. So instead of rushing in, she slows down. Instead of flooding you with affection, she retreats to catch her breath. It's not a signal to walk away. It's a signal to understand that what you mean to her is already bigger than she knows how to handle. Most men get it wrong in this moment. The second she goes quiet, they panic. They start calling more, texting more, demanding answers, chasing harder. And in doing that, they confirm her fear that opening her heart means losing her freedom. What they don't see is that her silence isn't the problem, their reaction to it is. When a man assumes she's pulling away because she's not interested, he acts out of insecurity. He tries to force closeness instead of allowing it to grow. And that pressure doesn't bring her closer, it pushes her further away. The tragedy is she was never leaving in the first place. She was just protecting herself. And if he had stayed calm, if he had trusted the connection instead of panicking, she would have come back to him with even more love. Sometimes her silence is not distance at all, it's a test. Not the kind of test where she sits back with a scorecard, but the kind where her heart is whispering, "Can I trust this man with my deepest self?" When she pulls away, she's not asking you to prove you can chase harder. She's asking you to prove you won't fall apart when she needs a moment to breathe. Because love, real love, is not just about how good things feel when they're easy. It's about whether the connection is strong enough to handle the quiet moments, the pauses, the space. Think of it like fire. If a flame only survives when you're constantly blowing on it, it was never strong in the first place. But a fire that burns steady, even when you step back for a while, is the one that lasts through the night. When a woman pulls away, she wants to know, is the bond between us like that steady flame, or is it fragile, needing constant oxygen to survive? And this is where so many men fail, because instead of showing her that the connection is real, they reveal that their confidence was an illusion. They crumble, they react, they chase, they get angry, and in that moment she sees not strength, but weakness. Not love, but insecurity. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine she suddenly takes a step back. She doesn't call as much. She doesn't reply right away. And you're sitting there, staring at your phone, thinking, why isn't she answering? Did she stop loving me? Did I do something wrong? That spiral of questions is natural. But what you do with it is everything. If you let that panic drive your actions, you'll start sending 5 messages in a row. You'll call at midnight. You'll demand answers. And in that moment, you're no longer the grounded, attractive man she fell for. You're a man showing her that her silence has the power to control you. But if in that same moment you can take a breath, remind yourself, this is not the end. This is a test of strength, not love. You step into a completely different energy. You show her something rare, stability. You show her that her pullback doesn't unnerve you, that your sense of worth isn't dependent on constant validation, that you can hold space for both her love and her fear. That's what makes you magnetic, because what is she really testing? Not whether you can chase her, not whether you can shower her with words. She's testing whether your presence is strong enough for her to rest in, whether she can lean on you without feeling smothered, whether she can step back without losing you, whether the bond can stretch without breaking. Let's go deeper. Think about a tightrope walker. The rope sways, the wind shifts, and every step feels risky. That's what deep love feels like for her. Every step is high above the ground. And what she wants to know is, if she wobbles, will you panic and grab at her, pulling her down? Or will you stand steady, holding the rope with calm hands, so she feels safe enough to keep moving forward? That's why when she ignores you, it's not rejection, it's the moment of truth. It's the moment where she unconsciously asks, are you strong enough to hold this? And the answer is never in your words, it's always in your behavior. A man who is strong enough doesn't need to prove it with desperate chasing. He proves it by standing calm, by giving her space, by trusting that her silence isn't the death of love, but the birthplace of deeper trust. Here's what most men don't realize. Women don't fall in love with the man who never causes them fear. They fall in love with the man who makes them feel safe in spite of their fear. Fear will always come with love because love risks loss. But safety comes from knowing, even if I get scared and pull back, he won't punish me, he won't crumble, he won't chase me into exhaustion. He'll stand firm and I'll come back when I'm ready. Let me tell you a quick story. A woman once told me about a man she dated. In the early days, he was incredible, attentive, funny, confident. But then, as she began to fall for him, she pulled back. She didn't mean to. She just needed space to process the intensity of what she was feeling. Do you know what he did? He panicked. He blew up her phone, accused her of losing interest, demanded to know what was wrong. And in that moment, she didn't feel his love. She felt his fear, and once she felt his fear, she no longer trusted him with her vulnerability. That relationship didn't survive, but then she described another man she dated later. Same situation, she pulled back. But this time the man didn't panic. He didn't beg, he didn't chase, he didn't accuse. He just continued being himself, steady, grounded, kind. He sent her a message once, "Hope you're doing well, no rush to respond." And then he went about his life. No drama, no insecurity. And do you know what she said? She said she found herself missing him even more. Because his steadiness made her feel safe. And that safety brought her back to him, stronger than before. That's the test. When she steps back, she's not looking for proof that you love her. She already knows that. She's looking for proof that you can handle her fear without adding to it. She's looking for a man who isn't destabilized by the natural ebb and flow of emotions. She's looking for the anchor in the storm. And if you can be that, she'll love you more deeply than you ever thought possible. Think about it. Why would she test you like this? Because at the heart of every woman who's falling in love is the question, if I give him my heart, will it be safe here? And she can't answer that question when things are perfect and easy. She can only answer it when things get uncertain, when she pulls back, when she ignores you. That's when she sees who you really are. Do you crumble or do you rise? So the next time she ignores you, don't make it about you. Don't ask, what did I do wrong? Instead, remind yourself, this is her heart testing the strength of our bond. This is her fear asking me to be steady. This is my moment to show her that I'm not going anywhere, and I don't need constant reassurance to know my value. Because here's the truth. Love isn't proven in the moments when everything is easy. Love is proven in the moments when everything is uncertain. And the man who understands that, who doesn't chase, who doesn't panic, who doesn't fall apart, that's the man who passes the test she doesn't even know she's giving. And once he passes it, he doesn't just win her love, he wins her trust. And trust is what keeps love alive long after passion alone would have burned out. So remember, when she pulls back, it's not the end. It's the test. And if you can hold steady in that silence, you'll show her the one thing every woman deeply longs for but rarely finds. The strength to love her not just when she's leaning into you, but also when she's pulling away. Confidence is everything in this moment. When she pulls back, when she ignores you, when she seems to vanish into her own world, she's watching to see how you respond. Do you crumble under the weight of her silence? Or do you hold yourself with the same calm energy that attracted her in the first place? Because nothing is more magnetic to a woman than a man who stays grounded when emotions get turbulent. It's easy to be confident when she's smiling at every joke, replying instantly, and showering you with affection. But real confidence is revealed in the silence, in the gaps, in the moments when you're not sure where you stand. A man who understands this doesn't get thrown off balance. He doesn't chase her with desperate words or spiral into insecurity. He keeps living his life. He stays rooted in his purpose. He carries himself with the same certainty he had before she ever entered the picture. And here's the irony. It's that very steadiness that pulls her closer again. Because while fear makes her withdraw, your calm confidence becomes the safe harbor that invites her back. She sees a man who doesn't need her constant reassurance, who isn't shaken by the ebb and flow of her emotions, and in that steadiness she feels something rare security. Confidence isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about knowing your worth so deeply that her silence doesn't rewrite your value. It's the unspoken message you give off when you don't overreact. I'd love for you to be here, but I'll be whole whether you are or not. And that energy, that quiet strength, is irresistible. Because deep down, she's not looking for someone who will fall apart every time she hesitates. She's looking for someone whose presence reminds her it's safe to stop hesitating. Consistency is what reassures her heart when her fear tells her to run. You can be charming, you can be funny, you can sweep her off her feet in 1,000 ways, but if you vanish the second she pulls back, she learns she can't rely on you. What makes you irresistible isn't the grand gestures, it's the quiet reliability. It's the way you show up with the same steady energy, whether she's leaning in close or taking a step back. Imagine her heart like a house with fragile walls. Every time someone left without warning, a crack formed. Every time someone pulled away the moment she showed vulnerability, another piece chipped. Now, when she ignores you, it's those cracks speaking, it's her past fears whispering that you'll disappear too. But when you remain consistent, when you keep being who you said you were, when your words and actions align no matter what mood she's in, you're not just a man in her life. You become the proof that her heart can finally rest. Consistency doesn't mean chasing or crowding her. It means she knows you'll still be there when she turns back around. It means you don't punish her silence. You don't guilt her for needing space. You give her the freedom to breathe without fearing abandonment. And when she sees that, something inside her shifts, her guard lowers, her fear quiets. She realizes she can love you without losing herself. And in that moment, her love doesn't just return, it deepens. Sometimes the loudest declaration of her love isn't in her words, or in her affection, or even in the way she looks at you. It's in her silence. When she ignores you, it might feel like rejection, but often it's her heart speaking the truth she's too scared to say out loud. Think about it. Indifference doesn't create silence. If she truly didn't care, she wouldn't hesitate, she wouldn't pull back, she wouldn't feel the need to protect herself. She'd simply move on. But when she goes quiet, when she withdraws, when she seems to disappear into herself, it's because she cares so much that the weight of it scares her. That silence is not the absence of love. It's the evidence of it. It's the pause she takes because her feelings are too strong to handle in the moment. It's the space she creates because letting you in fully feels like giving you the keys to her entire soul. And here's the irony. The more she ignores you, the more it often means you matter. Because only someone who matters has the power to stir that kind of fear inside her. The mistake most men make is to treat that silence like the end. But the man who understands knows it's just the beginning of trust, the beginning of vulnerability, the beginning of love that's bigger than her comfort zone. If you can see her silence not as distance, but as depth, not as rejection, but as revelation, you'll realize something powerful. Sometimes the quietest moments are the ones screaming the loudest. That she's already in too deep. So the next time a woman ignores you, don't rush to the worst conclusion. Don't let panic, ego, or insecurity trick you into believing she's slipping away. See it for what it really is, her heart trying to protect itself from the very depth of feeling you've stirred in her. Her silence isn't always a goodbye, it's often a sign she cares more than she knows how to handle. And if you can stay calm, steady, and consistent in those moments, you won't just keep her love, you'll earn her trust. And trust is what transforms attraction into devotion, chemistry into commitment, and silence into the loudest declaration of love you'll ever hear.